Hello, Chargers fans. At this point, I do believe Bills offensive coordinator Brian Daboll is going to be the next head coach of the Los Angeles Chargers. And if that happens, hey, I'm going to be really excited. Why? Let's get into some of that right now. So, there'll be a slightly more lengthy discussion in a moment with some film. But to start off, I just want to discuss some of the concerns that fans have maybe had about Daboll. And they come down to one of two things. The first thing being, did Daboll only have one good year? I would certainly think that this year was Daboll's best year in any capacity, whether that be as a coordinator or a position coach or what have you. But I don't think we can just ignore what he did for different players at different points in his career. So with the Cleveland Browns, here you have Peyton Hillis, who had, he was a huge 1 year wonder, even outscoring and, crushing the Patriots at one point, which is impossible for the Browns to beat the Patriots. But that's how good Peyton Hillis was. And then in Kansas City, we have Jamal Charles, who rushed for the highest rushing total of his career under Brian Daboll. And then, of course, when Daboll went to the Patriots, Rob Gronkowski, in the 2 years that he was healthy, Daboll was the tight ends coach at the time. In the 2 years that Rob Gronkowski was healthy, he made all pro honors in both seasons, scoring 23 touchdowns during that game. So, yeah, the Bills weren't, exactly, world beaters on offense. When Daboll took over in 2018, you got to remember that the Bills were transitioning away from a Tyrod Taylor-led offense in 2017 with no weapons and a rookie quarterback who was, in all honesty, a project. The two starting receivers that year were Kelvin Benjamin and Zay Jones. And if you can't see why that's a problem, I don't know. So Daboll has to go in and install an offense, groom a raw quarterback prospect, and then somehow get, the ball to some very lackluster weapons. So yeah, was 2020, the Bills' best year? Yeah. Technically it was their only, good year, I suppose. But it clearly takes time to get where you want to be as an offense, particularly when your talent on offense sucks and your quarterback is so raw. The second issue is, did Stefon Diggs make Daboll look better than he was? Here's the thing. Now, of course, one of the best receivers in the league makes an offense better. Do you want to watch a Keenan Allen less offense for 16 games or one with Keenan Allen? So, sure, you can do more with Diggs in your offense. And, sure, there are plays where Diggs, could have had the worst play called for him by Daboll, but still score. But what you discover watching the film are two things. And that's one, that Daboll actually schemes Diggs open a number of times and adjusted to ensure Diggs and the other two receivers were all profiting. And then two, I think Diggs made Josh Allen look better, not really Daboll. Daboll schemed like a madman, and sometimes Allen just couldn't see the field. Watch Allen play versus Miami in week 2. He makes mistakes all over, but ends up with an NFL rating over 140. They're just insane to me, but whatever. But why? That's because of Daboll and Diggs. So anyway, let's get into the film now. I wanted to start with something that I know Chargers fans are begging for, and that's creative play calling, pre-snap motion, and a little sprinkle of Joe Reed. With Buffalo, it's actually Isaiah McKenzie as your Joe Reed type. The Bills use a motion man on really almost every single play, whether that be McKenzie's running, from the receiver spot behind the line of scrimmage to, H-back Dawson Knox, and how creative they are moving him around pre-snap or bringing him in for pistol or whatnot. Anyway, so here's 4 plays that show what I'm talking about. First, they're going to use a motioning man. And, for now, just don't worry about him. I've highlighted where the ball is going to go. So don't worry about the motioning man that you'll see, although the defense has to. For now, just look at the creativity to get the ball to Singletary. Okay, so not impressed. How about running a similar play where before you motion left and throw right, now you're motioning left to right and throwing to Moss to your left. So kind of a similar idea, kind of a similar look, but just being smart about it, doing something, kind of different every time. Similar looks, but running something different. Okay, but you're here for the McKenzie stuff. Now, admittedly, I've only watched a couple of games in full, so if this Like if I'm just missing the greatest McKenzie play of all time in week 4, I missed it. But anyway, one of my issues with Steichen is he'd run Reed around as a decoy, but not do anything with him. So if Kalen Ballage is always running when he's in, why would I worry about a pass or a handoff to Reed, for example? If Reed never touches the ball, then I'd rather just focus on the guys who can. And if you just ignore Reed, which a defense really can do, it becomes a game of 11 versus 10. Whereas Brian Daboll makes you respect everyone. So first, the first play, we had a motion and a throw to Singletary, then a motion and a throw to Moss. Now, look at the defense sleeping here. And because the defense gets lulled or lazy, boom, McKenzie changes direction and picks up a nice gain for an easy first down. And that's just beautiful. And we finish with the final play, a sort of, it's a simple handoff. And the defense is actually, they call it a pass. But the defense is late getting there because, you're trying to figure out what the hell is about to happen. Should I cover the running back screen they showed earlier? Should I stay home so I don't get fooled like the play we just saw? And by the time you make that decision, McKenzie's taking the handoff for another solid gain. Alrighty, I'm on Premiere Pro, so I'm just going to scroll over here. So here's another fun one I noticed, and that's that Daboll likes receivers that can block, which is fantastic because the Chargers have a couple of those guys, in particular Keenan Allen, which we all heard about on Hard Knocks. If you don't block, you don't play. So Daboll coming over really translate well to what he wants. So we'll see two things here. One, how blocking frees up receivers, and two, kind of a sneak peek at what Daboll does to get guys open. This first play I've highlighted here, this receiver, watch him. Right? Oh, I'm running a route, and then boom. And then John Brown catches the ball and walks in for an easy touchdown. Let's watch that play again. Look at both the receiver and then the lineman. I mean, there's a ton of hustle. And that's just beautiful. Beautiful play design, beautiful hustle, effort, everything. But simple. So the next play is another example of selflessness and sharing the football in this offense. Diggs is the number one target, but Daboll does a good job getting all his little fast twitch receivers, not little, smaller. He gets everybody involved. And that's why I'm a little concerned with Mike Williams, because he isn't really the shorter, twitchier guy that Diggs, or Allen, or even like KJ Hill are. Certainly not Cole Beasley. So I hope you can appreciate watching all this tape and how he gets the ball to everyone with intention. It's not that Beasley is the fourth read here, and then Josh Allen just throws the ball to him because everyone else is covered. No, I mean, Daboll is trying to get you involved. Here, I believe, I don't know the Bills numbers very well. I'm sorry. I know Beasley's the white guy. Here, I believe John Brown blocks his man. Beasley runs the out and nearly gets a touchdown. He doesn't get the touchdown, but at least he does do enough on 3rd and 2 to get the first down, which sets up a touchdown a few plays later. And none of this is rocket science. This isn't like incredibly difficult, but I just love that Daboll's always trying to get his guys open. So this final play here, just another example of blocking and selflessness equals getting a guy open. Here the outside and middle receiver block to open up Diggs for an 8-yard gain on first down. This is actually kind of like the previous play, with a little more down and distance to go and with 2 blockers, but same idea. What I like is it's a really nice high percentage completion play for 8 yards on first down. Miami plays it pretty well, but Diggs gets a good 8 out of it, or 7, or whatever it is. So this next bit is just a small bit, and just like you saw, Daboll drew up similar plays with receivers blocking to free up a guy for an easy positive gain. What I showed there, and now what I'll show here, is that Brian Daboll will go back to the same play. I hated how Steichen would, like, let's say, run Joe Reed once. It would go for 8 yards, and then he'd never go back to it. Or remember, that easy catch that Allen had when he was lined up in the backfield versus the Raiders? Did we ever see that for the rest of the year? Daboll rarely runs. He doesn't run the exact same play, and these next 2 plays aren't the exact same play, but the concept is there. Fake a play action, suck the linebackers in, run Diggs towards the sideline while the attention of the defense is in the middle of the field. So this first play, Knox and the running back in the backfield. I don't know these Bills players. Sorry. They're used to keep Diggs one-on-one with a DB. It's easy first down. And again, look how easy it is. Easy Daboll is making things for Josh Allen and Diggs. I'll get you open. Just catch the damn football. And the next play is basically the same, just another added wrinkle to ensure Diggs gets open. This time they'll have Knox and the running back run routes to keep attention there, and they'll have a receiver. I'm pretty sure that's Beasley. Take off towards the middle of the field. What do you get? Diggs one-on-one again, and a first down. Simple. You can't stop it. I'll do it again. I'll do it again. I don't care. So there's one more Daboll related thing I want to talk about real quick, and it was actually the reason for lack of a better phrase, why I fell in love with him from the beginning, and that's that he went for the throat. He went for the head. Being a Chargers fan is so frustrating sometimes, or most of the time, because the offense never seems to want to keep the fire going and smush their opponent. They play for the safe wins and end up with close losses. Daboll isn't going to let that happen. He's not going to let the opponent have a lucky play or an extra opportunity. He says, hey, screw you. My offense is great. My quarterback can make any throw. So bring it. Stop me. Oh, you can't? Well, I just won the game. Have a nice flight home. So this play, this is 3rd down and 9, and the score is 24-20 Bills. Now, look, they have every right to get a modest gain, get 7-8 yards or whatever, and kick a field goal to make it 27-20. Not only did Daboll have the underneath option for that exact reason, but he also dialed up a home run call, and Miami blows it. Allen tosses it, and they go up 31-20. So let's watch it real fast. I don't have a guy highlighted. Pretty sure you can figure out where the ball's going here. So why is that significant? So the Dolphins, on their next possession, march down the field, score a touchdown, and then convert on the 2-point conversion to make it 31-28 with 49 seconds left. Now, imagine that's the Chargers, who would kick that field goal because they play not to lose. Miami would have scored, probably converted like they did here, and won 28-27. But nope, not with the Bills, not with Daboll. Daboll doesn't leave it up to a defense that he has no control over. He's just going to go win it right now. But this here, this play is glorious and disrespectful all at the same time because the Bills are up like 42 million to nothing. And what does Daboll do? Let's dial up a bomb to rookie Gabriel Davis from freaking Mac Barkley. Why? Because, look, I'm a nice guy off the field, but I'm a bully coordinator on the field, or in the booth, actually. Daboll coaches from the booth. I mean, come on. You don't have to do that. And some people don't like that. Like some other coaches just don't like that. Some people throw a fit that you're running up the score on them. I don't care. I want my coach to be a winner. So I'll close out with one final thought. And, though Daboll had talent in Buffalo, I truly believe he has better talent in Los Angeles and a quarterback who is way ahead of the curve. But he's definitely never had anyone in Buffalo who could do what Austin Eckler could do. Eckler can run hard. He can take a screen to the house. He can, take a hitch and go to the house, break tackles for touchdowns, you name it. So, I really can't wait to see what he does with his new secret weapon. So, yeah, guys, while there are many reasons to like Daboll, this is why I do personally. I just think he has a great history with various players from his time around the league. He is creative. He spreads the ball around. He schemes his players open. He's not afraid to go back to plays that work, and he will look for every opportunity to just embarrass you by dropping 40 points. So, I'm fully behind him as the next Chargers coach. And it seems like, as of this morning, Adam Schefter says that he is the front runner for the Chargers job. So that's got me really excited. Good timing too. I spent the entire summer watching Tyrod Taylor Buffalo film, and I'll just play some Eckler highlights for you. Anyway, so, watching Tyrod Taylor so much this summer and then having Tyrod Taylor, break his ribs and then not even play for, 2 games was a bummer. So the fact that I get to watch a little bit of Buffalo film and then, it's going to be their coach. That's so exciting. So, I'm fully behind him as head coach, and I really hope you guys are a little bit more on board after this video too. If you get the chance, please, share a comment, like, subscribe, whatever you want. Yeah, and let me know if you're happy now with Daboll, if this is like a guy that you're super behind or whatever. Anywho, that's it. Take care, guys, and bolt up.